Hello, everyone.
Hi, Alvin.
Hi, hello, beautiful. Let me move back because I'm too close. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love the new hairstyle. I love how you
Thank you.
did. Beautiful. So let's officially begin. I mean, I have judged you in Superstar Search, but we haven't really talked like this before. And I really hope you
Never.
can hear me clearly too.
I can.
Perfect. Now, let's officially begin with you introducing yourself, telling us about yourself to our viewers and to our future viewers as well.
Okay. So my name is Nyisha Tilus. I am from the island of Abaco, which is one of 700 islands and keys of the Bahamas. I grew up on Abaco. I moved to Nassau, which is considered the capital of the Bahamas, in 2013 to pursue my bachelor's degree in psychology. So I currently hold a bachelor's degree in psychology. I graduated in 2018, but I currently work at the University of the Bahamas now as an event and program coordinator. I'm responsible for just engaging students outside of the classroom to ensure that they have a holistic and well-rounded university experience. I'm a new author, which is exciting, and the first Miss Superstar winner, which is also
Yeah,
exciting because that gave me the opportunity to represent my country, the Bahamas, at the 12th edition of Miss Supranational happening in a few weeks.
exactly. And I'm very excited to. So thank you so much for sharing that. And based on everything that you have mentioned, I will be asking that about that later as well. But first, tell us what motivated you to join Superstar Search. Was it a personal decision or someone pushed you to join?
It was a personal decision for me. So I grew up in a shanty town, which is considered, I guess, the slum of the Bahamas in a sense. And growing up, I never imagined myself as a beautiful young woman. I never imagined myself holding any sense of position or being a role model. Although so I started this journey of wanting to be that person I wish I had when I was a little girl. And I stumbled, literally, Alvin, I stumbled upon pageantry by being in the Bahamas. We have this term where we say you got swing. It's a song. I'll send you the link so you can listen to it. But I literally stumbled upon pageantry because a cousin of mine, she asked me to attend a meeting with her, and I had no idea it was pageant related or anything. She just wanted company, and I went with her, and I literally stumbled upon this room, and I left the room in a pageant, my very first pageant. So ever since my first pageant, I knew that I wanted to compete, but I was always afraid because of the negativity and the backlash that I experienced. So I placed it on hold for a few years, and then I competed again. After 2011, I competed again in 2017 at Miss University of the Bahamas, and I was the first Miss University of the Bahamas, and that awarded me the opportunity to represent the university for the first time at Miss World Bahamas, and I placed top 5 there. I wanted to win, however, it didn't happen. And I started looking at other avenues aside from Miss World Bahamas because I didn't really want to give up. And that's one of your question that you gave me. So I
Yes.
started looking elsewhere because I realized that, okay, this may not have been the path, but it didn't necessarily mean that pageantry was over per se. So I competed in Miss Bahamas Universe in 2019, and I was first runner up. And so I'm like, I'm so close to the crown. There's no chance for me like giving up right now. I'm so close. I'm like right there. So in 2020, the pandemic happened, and I thought all hope was lost because I turned 28 in 2020, which was the age limit for the universe system here in the Bahamas. And so there was a small boutique screening. I participated. I was second runner up, and I was devastated because my goal was to represent my country internationally. Elsewhere, because I understand the fact that sometimes our journeys or our path, it might be different, but it doesn't necessarily mean that pageantry was over. I started researching Supranational because I understood that the age limit was 29, not 28, and I went after it. Before Superstar Search even started, I was already in conversations about having or purchasing the franchise so that I'm able to compete and all of that. And I didn't have the money. Alvin, I did not have the money. I signed the contract on faith because I'm like, okay, this is something that I really want to do. So I signed it on faith, and I needed to submit like the franchise fee in like 2 weeks in the middle of a pandemic, and I did not have the money. And the following day, Superstar Search was created, and I took that as a sign of an avenue for me to do this competition, but in another way.
Wow, what a journey you have. And let me ask you this as well. When you decided to join Superstar Search, I mean, of course, you wanted to win, but did you expect that you will go very far, knowing that you are competing against international candidates? And not to mention, the ladies that you're competing with are very, very strong as well.
They are. And I was scared because in the Bahamas, we usually compete with between 8 to 11 delegates. 44 delegates was
Yeah.
a lot. And for me, it was like, how do I stand out and not get lost in this number? I didn't expect, I wanted to. And for me, I believe that my path led me to this journey. And I knew that as long as I gave it 110%, what happens will happen. And for me, I found comfort in that. No matter what, give it 110%, especially because in my mind, this was my last chance. So I went into it knowing it was my last chance and giving 1,000% because it was my last chance, and keeping my fingers and everything crossed and hoping that the judges and the organization saw who I was and what my message that I wanted to share was.
Very good. And as one of the judges, truly enjoyed your journey. I mean, you were amazing. You truly proved that you were a worthy winner. And I have interviewed Sophie days ago, and I have told her that that competition was so intense that it was already a great preparation for you for the Miss Supranational International competition. I mean, that was a great training for you as a candidate already. So, which is why I am positive that you and Sophie, as product of the first ever Superstar Search, will come to the competition very strong. And I am proud of
I'm,
that.
I'm excited as well. And thank you so much. And I'm excited for both Sophie and I's journey because it's not conventional, especially in the midst of a pandemic and competing completely virtually. So it presented challenges in terms of being creative, but once again, it prepared us for this path.
Exactly. And let me ask you this. Do you think that your victory in Superstar Search could finally help you or get that attention that maybe it's time for Bahamas to get that Supra franchise for the next
I hope
edition?
so. I hope so. And for me, I take the mantle in a sense very seriously because I understand that everything that I do kind of plays a role in what happens moving forward. I understand that Superstar Search was a personal project that was funded personally by Andre. And for me, even as the title holder of Superstar Search, I take that seriously where even persons that follow me, I'm hoping that, a private donor or a sponsor would reach out to Andre and say, we love this platform, continue to have it, and we'll sponsor it. Because it was just so amazing and it offered, this hope for young people like me from all over the world with a dream to have the opportunity to further their message. Because that's what it was about, amplifying our message and just going after something that seemed impossible. So I take that mantle seriously, first and foremost, and by extension, the mantle of, the Bahamas being seen. Because typically we're usually under the radar. And I do know that this opportunity with Superstar Search has presented so many spotlights in a sense, matter of showcasing the Bahamas as best as possible so that persons are able to see the treasure and true beauty that's here.
Exactly. And your country, it may not be big, may not be considered as one of the powerhouses in beauty pageants, but I keep on saying this every time. One good thing about the supranational as a pageant is that as long as you perform, it doesn't matter what your stash is, you will be up there. And that's the one thing that I love about this pageant. Now, talking
Same.
about your preparation, because in a few weeks you'll be flying to Poland. So is this your first time to go to Poland? And if yes,
It's my
what excites you the most?
Okay, so it's my first time in Poland. It's my first time to Europe generally. So I'm just excited to just go to Europe. I'm excited to travel outside of the US and the Bahamas because I've only been to a few places in the US. And I am an adventure junkie is what I'm going to coin myself as. So I love culture. I've worked in hospitality for over 5+ years, and I would always exchange my local currency for currencies of those that travel to the Bahamas because I was always so fascinated. So now to be able to go to Poland and really not just have their currency, but actually explore and see the infrastructure, know more about the culture, meet the people, I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm extremely excited. Preparation wise, it's been tough. I won't lie. Because as you know, the competition Superstar Search was created for countries without a national director. So I don't have a director. So everything has been on me solely in terms of seeking sponsorship, figuring out what my wardrobe and styling is going to be. Like everything is on me basically. And I love it in a sense because I have that ability to showcase who I am opposed to having a team force something on me that I may not like. And I also have the ability to kind of put different people together so that I'm putting my best foot with it. But I've been doing my best to ensure that I'm showcasing the Bahamas, Bahamian designers. So I'm excited to do that. Basically, 99% of my wardrobe so far is solely local and Bahamian designers and entrepreneurs and retailers. So I'm excited to showcase their pieces. I'm excited to work with some persons outside of the Bahamas as well, but that has some local connections in terms of they would have lived in the Bahamas but relocated to the US. So it's been hard, I won't lie, but I'm excited for this journey because I've realized over the years that nothing good comes easy. So I've just been putting in the work. I've been working out. I've been working on my speaking and interview. I've been working on my styling and learning how to do my short hair, which I love, and learning how to do my makeup so that I'm putting my best foot forward with each and every step that I take in Poland.
Very good. I think this is one thing that people don't understand with you and Sophie who won in Superstar Search because as what you mentioned, you really have no team to help you when it comes to preparation. So that makes it difficult. But seeing your story made me happy for you as well because at least your people are cooperating and helping you to represent your country proudly in the supranational stage. So I'm happy to hear that. And right now, I sure wish that there will be more sponsorship to come so that everything that you needed for the pageant will be provided. Yes, fingers, fingers crossed. So I really hope for that. So that you will come to the competition and represent Bahamas very, very well.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, as what you mentioned earlier, you have also become an author recently.
Yes.
So tell us something about your book with the title Uncaged. Tell us something about it. And is it available in your country or is it available internationally?
Okay, so my book is called Uncaged.
You're ready.
It's called Uncaged, Release Your Inner Queen. And for me, after placing top 5 in Miss World Bahamas, I had someone tell me there's dignity in defeat. But I didn't really feel defeated. I felt uncaged. I didn't feel like I lost. I felt like I started to step into who I was really meant to be and my purpose. Personal of being uncaged started. And I wanted to share that in a special way. So it started with me writing, and it ended up being a part one of a three-part series that I hope to put out in a year or so. And it just talks about my journey to self-discovery, my journey to building my self-esteem and understanding my self-worth, because I was not always this confident person. And I understand that it's something that you have to work on every single day. You have to be conscious about saying, I love myself, be conscious about being confident, be conscious of not comparing your journey to someone else's. So this idea of we all have this inner queen or being in us just waiting to be unleashed. And it's up to us to open the gates or even sometimes allow him or her to break out so that you can start walking in your fullness. So that's what the book is about. It's available on Amazon. It's available in my country as well in Chapter One bookstore. And then I have personal copies here as well that I can ship out to countries that it's not available in, but it's available on Amazon for all Amazon shops or sites.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we will be sharing your book so that people who may be interested could be able to get it and be inspired by what you wrote in your book. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And talking about your preparation for Miss Supranational, have you been, I know you have a WhatsApp group with the other candidates. So let me just ask you, who are you excited to meet of all the candidates so far?
Everyone. So this is weird, right? I love meeting people. We have a WhatsApp group, but I find that I deviate into their personal chat instead because I don't want it to get lost in everything that's happening. And even on social media, there are instances where, there are posts about certain things happening with certain people. And I'm the type of person, I love a personal touch. I believe in genuine connection and friendships. So I find myself, instead of privately messaging the person, just so they know that it's more personal and heartfelt and that it's coming from the heart versus feeling like you have to reply in a big WhatsApp group, So I love interacting with the girls, and I'm excited to meet all of them because I know that I'm going to learn something from each and every one of them. As I mentioned, I'm a huge culture. Started traveling the world as yet. I'm a culture junkie, so I'm excited to get a piece of each and every one of their cultures when we get to Poland.
Very good. And in connection to that, is your competitive spirit being ignited by who are the strong candidates so far that whom I think could I be standing with if I get into the top 5? Do you have that kind of?
I don't, and that's crazy because someone just told me that yesterday in terms of, competition. And I don't know, it's not that I'm not a competitive person because I am, but I believe that your destiny is your destiny. Once you do the work and you put your best foot forward, same as Superstar Search, knowing that I gave 100 and 1,000% with every step that I take. I'm just ready to go to Poland and enjoy the experience because what I'm supposed to do is what I'm doing now in terms of preparation. When I get there, there's nothing more that I can do. So why stress out? Why not just enjoy the experience, make lifelong friends, and enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? So it's not that I'm not competitive, but I understand that the competition starts before Poland. It starts now, and it's with everything that I'm doing now. So for me, that's why I'm working so hard to get sponsors and ensuring that I showcase the Bahamas as best as I can in every one of my pieces, so that when I get to Poland, I'm enjoying the ride.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And that is definitely a beautiful, beautiful message. It's more on truly enjoying the experience. And I do agree with you because I have one of my favorite quotes as well is that what's meant for you will always be with you and no one can mess that up. So thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. Now let's go to the aspirational and inspirational tagline of Miss Supranational. Now, you're a very successful author. You're also an educator at the same time, a beauty queen. What else do you aspire to be?
Oh, so many things, Alvin. Only myself in a box. So I want to have a fashion line. I want to have a shoe line. I want to have a makeup line. I want to have a lot of things. I want to own businesses. I'm extremely business minded, which is something a lot of people don't know about me. I can look at a business or have a business idea and literally just put it together and see it 5 years from now almost immediately. And for me, I haven't really delved that much into it because I knew that I wanted to compete. And I'm a person that works on one thing at a time. So after pageantry, you'll start seeing tons of businesses starting to pop up and all of that, especially with pageantry too in the Bahamas. I have tons of ideas to shifting pageantry in the Bahamas and offering resources that helps Bahamians in particular, seeing that we're not considered a powerhouse or a bigger country, so that they're more prepared when it comes to competing internationally. So I'm extremely business minded, business oriented. I'd love to have a youth center as well. I love children. Also, something people don't know about me, I have a little brother that has Down syndrome, and I've always
Oh,
been
wow.
interested in just creating a safe place for them to be kids where, you don't necessarily have to worry about someone mistreating them. You don't necessarily have to worry about, qualified persons teaching them. Just a place where literally a kid can just be a kid, regardless of your being having a disability or being differently abled. Just enjoy yourself and your childhood. I had a really troubled childhood. So once again, having a safe place and space for kids to simply be kids is something that I want to have and create. And like I said, I have tons of things that I want to do and so much more books to come as well. So I'm just taking it one step at a time because I'm extremely aspirational and I know that I'm going to achieve each and every one of them. And I've been a person that never really put a timeline to it because, as you've
Of
heard from
course.
my pageant journey, it's never happened the way I expected it to. So I believe it's going to happen. It's just not right. One aspiration at a time, and I'm hopeful that it inspires someone while I'm just being myself. And that's what I love about the Miss Supranational tagline, aspirational and inspirational. It's about you being who you are and going after your goals and dreams while inspiring others to do the same.
Very good. I love that. I truly, truly love that. And just a follow-up question to that, in
Oh
connection to the
no.
aspirational part. What are your thoughts? Let's say,
Okay,
are we back? Okay, very good.
we're back.
Now, very good. In connection to the aspirational part, something just pops into my mind. What are your thoughts, let's say, moving forward after Miss Supranational? What are your thoughts about being a national director?
I've had persons present that to me a few times already, actually,
Wow.
which is interesting. And I don't mind. I'm not against it. I've actually had experience where after my reign as Miss University of the Bahamas, I was actually considered a national director for the Miss University of the Bahamas competing in World. So I already have rather experience in training delegates, putting a pageant together, and all of that. So I stuck around after my reign in 2017 until 2019 to kind of just get my feet wet and just be able to help girls that were competing for Miss World Bahamas through the University of the Bahamas franchise. So I have experience. So I'm not a fish out of water, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to play out. I'm not saying it's a complete no, but I am interested in helping women just be who they want to be. And if it's Miss Supranational Bahamas or Miss Supranational, I'm not opposed to it.
Wow, very good. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, let's go to the inspirational part. Inspiration is some kind of taking it in and giving it out at the same time. So, for the
Yeah.
inspirational part, who inspires you the most? And how do you think your life experiences could inspire other people?
So, as you can tell, I'm pretty long winded because I have so many different experiences, and all of which can reach different people depending on where they are. And that's something that I feel like makes me unique because I've been to extremely low places. And even now, as a title holder, people would look at you and think you're successful and you can't relate. But trust me, you name something and I can do it, even though I don't look like it. So for me, the person that inspires me the most would definitely be my little brother that has Down syndrome. His name is Quayshawn. I have four little brothers, one little sister. I'm the oldest, so it's up to me to make sure that I'm creating a legacy for them to know that the world is at their feet, and they can get and achieve anything they set their mind to. So my little brother inspires me. I love him dearly. I love the world through his eyes, which is where being a light ambassador or chasing and seeking light and shedding light comes from, because he's light. Like, no matter what, whether persons are being discriminatory against him or the stigma attached to him, he doesn't really understand it. And no matter what, he approaches you with love and light. So for me, I, in extension, want to share that love and light, knowing all that I know. And I feel like that's a great way to have his legacy continue through me. So love and light through my little brother. He's definitely an inspiration to me. And what I hope people would get, or how I can inspire. My story is a long one, as I mentioned, and it's because I grew up in a shanty town, which is considered the slum. I was a victim of abuse for my entire childhood. I've watched my mother be abused my entire childhood, and I did not allow that to stop me. I entered 12th grade, and I was on the verge of not graduating high school, and I did literally basically 6 years of work in 3 months to graduate, and I graduated top 5 of my class. And at that moment, I realized that anything I put my mind to, I can achieve. And for me, when I do that, I'm sharing with others that if a girl like me can do it, I'm sure you can, you know. And I share all those experiences to inspire others to do it. You don't necessarily have to take the same path that I did. I believe that we're given mountains in our life sometime, as hard as it is, to move them and to show others that it can be moved. So for me, I live a life of pushing my, breaking them down, and climbing to the very top to show others that mountains can be moved. So that's, and I honestly and truly just use my story to do it, because all that I have is my story. And that's what I share, to be honest and truthful and transparent about the world that we live in.
Wow, thank you. That is so beautiful. I wish many people would be able to watch this interview so that they would know how inspiring you are as a candidate. I really mean that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the reason why you won. I mean, you're amazing. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and we'll get to know you more as we come close to Miss Supranational. Speaking of Miss Supranational, why do you think you should be our next Miss Supranational?
So I came to a place where I stopped playing small just to fit in, just to sound or water myself down, in a sense. I've done that for years. And for me, the title of Miss Supranational and winning the title of Miss Supranational, what it means to me is not playing small. The motto of being aspirational and inspirational speaks to a woman who isn't afraid to shake the tree and break glass ceilings. She isn't afraid to speak her truth and share her story to inspire others to go after their goals and dreams, no matter how big or how small, no matter who you are or where you are in the world. Miss Supranational is a global ambassador who isn't afraid to be the voice for the voiceless. And honestly and truly, Alvin, I believe that's who I am. I believe that's the life that I live now. So the title of Miss Supranational wouldn't change anything, but rather it would amplify the voice that I already have, and the work that I'm already doing. And I think for me, that's why this system is so important to me personally, because I've watched former title holders post about Andre and the president of Miss Supranational, Gerhard, and I can see the fact that they are so contestant oriented. I could see the love and the light. I could see that they care so much about the girls, and I want to be a part of that. So there's so many reasons why this title is so important to me, but I truly believe that I'm the embodiment of this title, and that's why I should be the next title holder.
Very good. Beautiful answer. Thank you so much. And I do agree with you when it comes to the organization behind Miss Supranational. What's amazing about them is that when, I mean, even if you look at it, even if the top five, the winner, you can never hate them because I just like what
No.
we always say. What we love about Miss Supranational is that they are always acknowledging the nice girls, which means those who are have showed what they call this. Those ladies who have showed so much when it comes to behavior, who served as a role model, are the one who are really excelling in the competition, and that's what we love about Miss Supranational. And they are truly acknowledging the real performers with beautiful hearts. So thank you so
Yeah,
much
and I
for
love that.
sharing that. Yes, exactly. And I really wish that you will be successful in Miss Supranational too. Now, I have
Thank
one
you.
question. I just love this
Okay.
question very much. So I would love to know your thoughts about it. Miss Universe 2019, Zozibini Tunzi, I'm very sure you're familiar with her victory. When
Love.
she won, yes, when she won, her victory sends out a message that we have to break this glass ceiling, this old definition of beauty that we know it. It is time for us to embrace different forms of beauty. Her victory sends out that message to the world. Now, if you win Miss Supranational, what do you think is the message will your victory send out?
My message is really simple that every girl can. And it was something that I shared during my superstar search journey because once again, similar to Zoe, this idea of beauty makes women and girls indirectly feel like they don't fit in. They don't even try because of the message, whether we say it or not, we are showing or excluding a particular group. And me being here and me having this title sometimes still blows my mind because I never imagined that this was possible for me. So my message is really simple. No matter where you are, no matter where you come from, you can do it. As long as you push yourself, as long as you don't give up, you pursue it until it happens. And that's my message.
Thank you so much. Simple, but definitely direct to the point and very relevant to the world that we have today. So thank you
Yes.
so much. Now,
Thank
before
you.
I let you go, let me just ask you, what is your message to the people who will be supporting you until the coronation of Miss Supranational 2021, which could possibly be your coronation?
I would definitely start by saying thank you. I'm so, so, so grateful for a island girl like me. It's unheard of. So to say anything but thank you right now would make absolutely no sense. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. I thank you. Your time doesn't go unnoticed because creating graphics takes a lot of time. Like the amount of work that I've been seeing people put into just supporting me and my other pageant sisters, at least for me, because I understand what it's like to have to post all of the time. Because, like I mentioned, I'm doing everything myself. So I know the amount of work that I have to do. So now thinking about the time that you all take to support us, to love us, to send us positive messages, I appreciate it. And it has pushed me and fueled me in moments where I feel at my absolute lowest. So thank you so, so, so much. I appreciate it. And I love each and every one of
Thank you so much. This is such a beautiful, inspiring, and amazing interview with full of wisdom from you. So thank you so much. And Nyisha, I just want to say I truly appreciate you and for giving me this time to interview you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate you as well. I'm fangirling on the inside because, we have to keep our composure. Fangirling on the inside to finally be interviewed by the Alvin.
Oh my
So
God.
thank you for having me. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon. Have a great day. Have a great week and have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you. Good night and get some rest.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Bye. We will be keeping
Have
an
a
eye
good
on
one.
you. Don't worry. Bye. Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good one.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.